Welcome, traders. Dr. Keith here. Happy Monday, February 21st, 2022. Again, hope you're having a good President's Day. All right, let's talk markets here. So the S&P, I just got the S&P futures up here. It's running a little bit today. It's always a dangerous time because you don't have the professionals usually working on the holidays, right? But generally speaking here, you can see as we're talking right here that we've got it's down 22 points here as the time of this video, which is 11 a.m. Eastern on Monday. But as you notice, you got a flat top here, a flat top here. The key here, because I've been talking about it for what 2-3 weeks now, that this is a very normal decline in the markets. Okay, so it started a little bit early this year, had that beautiful retracement. And now it's obviously that's a higher low, or I'm sorry, a lower high, and now we're heading lower here. But this is going to be a critical area right about here where I have this alert set up for me. If it hits this mark today or going into tomorrow at some point, what's really going to tell me is it going to finally break through? If it does, we'll look out. It could be much lower, like 4,000, just as a general idea. And it certainly looks like we should as well, based off of pure seasonality and so forth. Let's look at the NASDAQ. You can see on the NASDAQ, we're basically right at those levels at the time of this video. So we'll be interested to see what's going to happen here, folks. The Dow down 122. We got a little bit more room to this wick, but this is the week where we'll see if it holds. And even if it does hold, I'm still not going to aggressively go long yet, because again, we usually have weakness here until about mid-March. But if it breaks through, then I'm really going to like some short plays. Okay, when we open up Tuesday morning for you stock traders, I will look at some opportunities. I do want to wait until Monday night happens with the futures, and we wake up Tuesday morning to see where the markets are at. We also know we have some political environments right now, so I'm being really conservative, and that's okay, because I know many of you would rather be break even, no trades versus being down, right? So it's all about risk reward in that. But again, I do like the markets to the downside here over the next 2 to 3 weeks, pretty significantly. All right, what about gold? So gold's made the move up. Typically people say, well, once there's political unrest, gold goes up. Well, in this case it did. It doesn't always work out that way, but there was a nice trigger here on the 7th. I didn't take it because I didn't see an advantage on the seasonal pattern. It was more sideways, but now you're just looking for retracements if you like gold long. Same with bonds. Bonds have been massively to the downside. We know we're getting close to that move back up, but I'm not taking this first trigger here. So as we talk today, we've got a flat bottom. We had one on Friday with the Laguerre triggering, but look at the massive downtrend, and the cloud's still nice and red. So if you take something like this, just realize there's more risk, but certainly if you're right, there's a lot more reward. What I'm waiting for is for it to keep coming up, retrace, and then if that new trigger in the near future is a higher low, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, that's the safer play on bonds. All right, let's look at crude oil. So crude again is just continuing to go higher. Obviously from the news, right? That's no surprise. That's the only thing that makes me nervous about crude right now. I do think it's going to go higher big picture, but because it's on the news, it's going to hit new highs. That's what the news is saying. I'm expecting a bigger retracement first at some point, okay? Only because usually the news is a contrarian indicator. When it's on the news, you go the opposite direction, folks. Okay. So, we also have seasonality to the downside until mid-March. We did hit a new high with some divergence here. But, oil, again, we have some political environments going on right now, and that could definitely affect oil, as you probably are all well aware. And so just be careful if you're going long here, based on just a pure uptrend, make sure you have your stops in, certainly at below this wick. At this point, if you made money on oil long, I would hold tight, let it retrace. And then once it's done retracing, and you get a new trigger, that would be my opportunity, in my opinion. Okay. Bitcoin. I tell you, Bitcoin's going to give us some really good opportunities, folks, to the long side, just not yet. It'll be interesting if it breaks this 36,000 level. You know, the lower it goes, especially for those of you like me that don't have any Bitcoin, it's going to give amazing opportunities. Okay, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's just extremely volatile. It probably will hit 100,000 by the end of the year. Okay, but again, just waiting for the entries. You know, again, you can also look at stocks like MARA, Riot, but there's a lot of them now. You know, once you're ready to enter in on a Bitcoin opportunity. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at the VIX. I'm going to bring the VIX futures up here. So again, interesting enough on the VIX, you keep getting, it doesn't want to seem to break and hold above 29. Again, if it does, or when it does, you know, look out. I think, again, it's just going to add to the volatility level there. I'm not expecting much on a Monday just because overall volume is going to be fairly low here on the shortened day. But what this is showing me, again, is if it breaks through, just like if the S&P has lower in the beginning of today's video, you know, I'm expecting some volatility. Typically from a seasonal, we have volatility there, folks. And so as I'm looking for opportunities this week, I am definitely favoring the short side at this point. So I'm looking at some of my favorite seasonal short plays. I'm looking for the triggers, the risk reward ratios, and so forth. So you'll see that on the alerts. Be patient. It's going to give us a great opportunity, if not to the short side. If it doesn't make a bigger move down, think about when we get into March here very shortly for the mid-March starting to go long play opportunities. Okay, so we can make money on both sides here. We just got to be patient. Have a great week, folks. Hope to see you all on Wednesday. Take care.